Hey, what's going on, guys? I have another flashlight review for you. Today we're looking at the Lynx. This is one of the newer models from Thrunite. This is going through a couple different generations, a couple different modifications and fixes, and it's been passed around on candle power forums, and a couple of really cool flashlight guys had reviewed them, given feedback, and ultimately they came out with this final product. It's really, really cool. It functions a little bit different than a lot of flashlights, something that I really had to get used to. But we're going to talk about all those features in just a minute. First off, this is what you get with it. Those hard shell packaging, kind of like a little gun pistol case. You see everything you need to know on the front. I like these. You know, it's good for storage. If you collect flashlights, these are perfect. If you're giving it as a gift, obviously, it's really cool. But some people, you know, if you're not constantly using the same flashlight, or if you have a plethora of gear, it's nice to be able to put this away and store it and keep everything together. Because a lot of times these flashlights come in tons of accessories. So this one, we unsnap it and open it. We have our registration card, of course our user guide. It's gonna have all the information, you know, as far as, you know, how the modes work. It's got some warranty information here as well. And of course all your Lumen info. Got the lanyard that we all like. I really like the Thrunite lanyards. You can use those for all kinds of things besides the flashlight. Spare O-rings. You notice the sheath for carry. This is not a cheap one. This is actually one of the better quality ones that are out there. So very cool. Now this does run on one 18650 or two CR123s. If you do use CR123s, it does include the little tube to take up that spare room in there so it doesn't rattle around. Now the last thing as an accessory, which is really neat, is there is a metal diffuser. All right, and this actually replaces the crenulated bezel that's on the front here. I'll show you how that works. What I saw is they only have this one, and it comes with a Lynx. I didn't see it yet, but I really hope they come out with a bunch of different filters. What this filter does is basically it's an opaque coloring on there, you know, or finish, and it dissipates the light even more to break up any kind of artifacts, you know, any kind of shadows or you know, images you're getting in that light. So it gives you even more of a smoother beam. This does have a deep, smooth reflector, no stippling or anything in there. All right, as the head says, this one is a Cree XM-L2U2 LED. Give you another shot of that. So how this works basically is this is a crenulated bezel, a crenulated bezel, your flashlight terminology, and all that means is that it's the bezel of the light, but crenulated is notched out. Okay, these little notches, some people like those because they create sharp corners. They like it for defensive purposes. If you're going to use a flashlight, you know, to distract someone who's attacking you or something, you can also strike them with it. A lot of people like it for that reason. I like it for the purpose that when the flashlight's down, I can see light spills out the side. All right, that's one of the reasons why I like it. You see right here a better example when I turn it up a little bit. So I know if I put this head down on a table or something that it's on. I don't forget to grab it, otherwise it could drain your battery. But anyway, this unscrews from the head of the flashlight here and is replaced by the aluminum diffuser. All right, and this gives you even a smoother beam. All right, so really, really cool. I like how they integrate it like that, as opposed to most filters are basically like a rubber boot or cap that goes over the whole thing. 6 to 1, half dozen the other. I like this. You know, they both function exactly the same, but it's pretty cool. You see that the crenulated bezel is stainless steel. I would have liked to see maybe a little more stainless steel on this to make it look two-tone, as opposed to just something that's added like in the end. Not a big deal though. So that's pretty much it for accessories besides the pocket clip. I'm going to show you how this pocket clip works, because this is the best design, best pocket clip for a flashlight I've seen yet. So the back end here has an independent collar. Okay, the whole tail switch is different. I've never seen a flashlight quite like this. All right, so that unscrews, and that is moving independently. All right, that brings your cap on and off. Really unique. We'll talk about that in just a second. But basically, you remove the back end. Once again, I'm running one 18650 in this one. There's a little collar here. You got to unscrew this collar. Basically, that's keeping pressure on top of the pocket clip. What I like about this one, which is a little bit different, is that this is just resting on the flashlight here. A lot of them, you know, that there's a small diameter and they kind of push on. They can mar up your light and scratch it and everything. Plus, if they've been out of shape, if you're not doing it right, or if you're forcing it and you slip or something, you can damage it. I like this one because there's a little notch right here. All right, and by design, that notch is for this part of the pocket clip. So when adding the clip on, there's one specific spot it goes in. You put downward pressure on there with your finger and then lock it in. In fact, right now I'm gonna take it off because I don't usually use the pocket clip. But as far as pocket clip goes, that's probably my favorite. So bring this collar back down and put our tail switch back on. Make sure not to cross thread anything. A little tricky at first, again, because this collar is moving independently. There we go. You kind of feel it drop down a little bit. So we'll close this. Now this does flare out, and it makes it easy to grab and turn. You can use this as a makeshift, like for cigar grip. Sometimes they have the really, pronounced or flared out rings on the flashlight, but it does function for that purpose if you wanted to as well. This is pumping out 1,000 lumens on high, and it does get hot. It gets pretty warm. So you can see the body is finned for the head there. This helps dissipate the heat more evenly, so it gives you better longevity on that LED. As far as the LED on the front there, again, with the Cree XM-L2 U-tube LED. It's also mentioned right in the side there. And they put on here, read manual before operating. That's a pretty good idea. So just in case you forgot, it's right there on the flashlight. As far as how you use this light, it's really easy once you understand it. Now, I mean, obviously that makes, it's common sense, right? If you understand it, it should be easy. I find that if you're like me and you go through a lot of different flashlights, you like trying a lot of new things, you get used to a flashlight, you use it for a while, and then when you switch to a new flashlight, you have to kind of learn how they work again, because there's so many different ways flashlights work, so many different modes. Some have buttons, some have side switches, some rotate, sometimes you rotate the head, sometimes you rotate the back. So there's a lot of different ways they can operate, and sometimes it gets confusing. So this one, at first, was confusing. It did take me a little while to better understand how this one functions. But basically what we have here is the whole construction is aluminum, but the tail cap is, or button I should say, is plastic. All right, one of the downsides to this flashlight is just that it's a little noisy. The plastic rubs on the aluminum, so it sounds like this. Not a big deal, but definitely worth mentioning, okay? So you need to be super covert. You gotta go super slow so it doesn't make that noise. But anyway, we basically have 4 positions here. This actually moves 3 times. So we're in position 1, all right? And then you're gonna rotate it 2, 3, and then 4. All right, when this switch, I guess we can call it, is all the way counterclockwise, you're in the first mode. The first mode is gonna be monetary on. So you're gonna get the full 1,000 lumens, okay? You just push it in and let go, and that's your momentary on. I think I said monetary. Momentary on, so as long as you hold that button in, it's gonna be on. When you let go, it shuts off. This mode cannot be changed. This is the first mode, and it will always be 1,000 lumens and just momentary on. When you rotate this clockwise, you have 3 different positions, okay? All 3 positions are completely programmable to your specific wants or needs. So basically the options you have is, really, really low, okay, which is, I think is 0.04 lumens, and it ramps all the way up to 1,000 lumens. So basically they call it infinite levels of light. It's not really infinite. Obviously there's a certain amount, but if you were to count every split second, you might stop. There might be a couple hundred different light levels, okay? But it ramps up. It starts low, starts to get brighter, 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 and basically when you're setting it, I'll show you how that works. When you let go, that's the light output you're going to get. So, and besides that, you also have the option for a slow strobe and a fast strobe. So infinite light levels from 0.4 lumens to 1,000 lumens, which gives you quite a range there to pick what's going to be perfect for what you need it for. And then the 2 different strobes. So how I have this set up, I'll show you. By the way, the 3 modes that are programmable, they're all constant on. So when you push the button in and let go, it stays on constant. All right, guys, just to show you my personal 3 modes that I set and a little logic behind it. Once again, when it is all the way counterclockwise, we have our momentary on, all the way high. All right, so these are my 3 set modes. All right, when I turn it once, I'm gonna have my strobe. When I turn it again, I'm gonna have my high 1,000 lumens. And then one more time, it's gonna be my low mode. This is not the lowest mode, but it is on the lower side, in case I'm doing something really up close. I don't want a lot of light towards my eyes, making it hard to see. So basically, you can go into any one of these modes, all right? And in that mode, let's go to my low. At any point in time, when the light is off, you can go into one of these three modes, push and hold it in. It'll turn the light on and it'll start ramping and changing the modes. So you can see this is starting to get a little brighter, a little brighter, a little brighter. And now it's going to stop and go into the strobe, and then go into a faster strobe. And then it'll cycle back over. Low, and it ramps up. It's higher and higher. So at any point in time when I let go, it's going to set that specific mode in that position to that light output. All right, it's really, really cool. I'm gonna let this circle around again and keep it low. So let's let it ramp up a little bit right there. That's fine, okay? And it remembers that every time for all three positions. So really, really cool. You'll notice that once the light is on in a position, it doesn't matter if you rotate this. It won't change anything until you shut it off. Whatever mode it's in, you know, is what it's gonna turn to when you turn it back on. All right, really, really cool. It's hard. I can't give you, 300 different, light output and run times, but they've broken it down to a generalization so you have an understanding of what it may be. All right, on a fresh 18650, the lowest mode you can have set on any of the three settings is 0.04 lumens, and that'll last 108 days. So it's a hell of a long time. If you were to bring this around 500 lumens, it would last about an hour and a half, about 90 minutes or so. At the full 1000 lumens, they say that it's going to last 50 minutes. I found it to be a little bit more, like almost pretty close to it, but I got a little more runtime out of a fresh 18650. And then strobe, of course, you get a little bit more, same 1000 lumens, but about 92 minutes is what they're saying. I didn't personally test the strobe. Keep in mind too, that there's a slower and faster strobe. You will have a more of a runtime with the faster strobe, but it's very slight. And I doubt most people are going to keep strobe on that long anyway. But anyway, that's it. Cost on this is $129 through the Thrunite store. Again, shop for the best price wherever you can find it. So that's pretty much it. Hope you guys enjoy the review. It's a really cool light. You can stay tuned. I'm gonna do a whole separate video on the beam shots because I want to go up to a much wider open area and kind of talk about it a little bit, and show you the difference between the regular flashlight setup and using the diffuser. So thanks for watching. Hope you have a great day, and I'll see you soon. Take care.